Today is election day. It's Tuesday tonight, both on the Republican and Democratic side. There's, I believe, 5 states for both parties. I know there are for the Democrats that are, the big one is Pennsylvania, of course. Delaware, I believe, is the only open primary. So these are all going to be closed primaries, which is going to, shall we say, somewhat reduce the number of people who can vote. You have to be a party member. On the other hand, parties for a long, long time have had not only the right but the obligation, I suppose, to protect their integrity as a party. Over the years, I've talked about actually supporting closed primaries. I'm reconsidering that seriously right now. I think there's a middle ground, and that is you have a closed primary, but you can register that you're up to your party literally on the day of the primary. So it's really not a closed primary, right? But you do have to say, okay, this is now my affiliation. But all of that aside, I wanted to get into what could be a good party platform for the Democratic Party, or for that matter, for the Republican Party. And I thought looking at some previous party platforms might be interesting. One of the most anomalous, I think, is the party platform, the Democratic Party platform of 1992. This is the platform on which Bill Clinton ran for president. And it uses the word revolution over and over again, which I find fascinating. I mean, Senator Sanders is calling for a political revolution, and so was the Democratic Party in 1992. Here are some of the phrases. Each one of these is the header, the lead sentence for an entire paragraph of content. Okay. The revolution of 1992 is about restoring America's economic greatness. The revolution of 1992 is about putting government back on the side of working men and women. The revolution of 1992 is about a radical change in the way government operates. The revolution of 1992 is about facing up to tough choices. Above all, the revolution of 1992 is about restoring the basic American values that built this country. To make this revolution, we seek a new covenant to repair the damaged bond between the American people and their government that will expand opportunity, insist on greater individual responsibility in return. That's what you call welfare reform, I suppose. Restore community and ensure national security in a profoundly new era. So it was, in 1992, they were really calling for, some sort of clear revolution. Okay, the details of the revolution were a little more fuzzy. But let me just share with you 2 other platforms. And in fact, I'll tell you what, whoever is the first person to call and correctly identify these 2 party platforms will get a copy of my most recent book. Where did my book go here? I got this new book out. It came out about a month ago. It's called ADHD and the Edison Gene, a drug-free approach to managing the unique qualities of your child. And we've got a, publisher sent me a few free copies. And so whoever the first person is to call in and tell me who these, which party and what year these 2 party platforms come from, we'll send the book to you. Okay. So listen carefully. The first one. Okay, I'm just going to read to you parts of the platform and tell me, which party said this and when. The record of performance of our administration on behalf of our working men and women goes still further. The federal minimum wage has been raised for more than 2 million workers. Social Security has been extended to an additional 10 million workers, and the benefits raised for 6.5 million. The protection of unemployment insurance has been brought to 4 million additional workers. There have been increased workmen's compensation benefits, increased retirement benefits, and wage increases, and improved welfare and pension plans for federal employees. In addition, the administration has enforced more vigorously and effectively than ever before laws which protect the working standards of our people. The administration will continue to fight for dynamic and progressive reforms and programs among other things, will stimulate improved job safety for our workers, continue and further perfect its programs of assistance to the millions of workers with special employment problems, such as older workers, handicapped workers, members of minority groups, and migratory workers. Don't call yet. Keep in mind, this is just the first of the 2. Protect by law the assets, strengthen and improve the federal state employment service and improve the effectiveness of the unemployment insurance system. Protect by law the assets of employee welfare and benefit plans so that workers who are the beneficiaries can be assured of their rightful benefits. I'll give you a hint. This particular platform plank, which was put into law, was reversed by Reagan. That gives you a clue. Assure equal pay for equal work, regardless of sex. Health, Education, and Welfare action created the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare as the first new federal department in 40 years. Equal rights. We recommend to Congress the submission of a constitutional amendment providing equal rights for men and women. Civil rights. Our party points to an impressive record of accomplishment in the field of civil rights and commits itself anew to advancing the rights of all our people, regardless of race, creed, color, or national origin. The party supports an immigration policy which is in keeping with the traditions of America in providing a haven for oppressed people, and which is based on equality of treatment, freedom from implications of discrimination between racial, national, and religious groups, and flexible enough to conform to changing needs and conditions. Okay, that is the platform of a political party in the last 60 years. Name that one. Okay, that's one. Here's the second one. This is also the platform of a political party. And both of these are people who you will know their names. These are famous people who ran. This political platform says, we urge the repeal of federal campaign finance laws and the immediate abolition of the despotic Federal Election Commission. We favor the abolition of Medicare and abolition of Medicaid programs. We oppose any compulsory insurance or tax-supported plan to provide health services, including those which finance abortion services. We also favor the deregulation of the medical insurance industry. We favor the repeal of the fraudulent, virtually bankrupt, and increasingly oppressive Social Security system. We propose the abolition of the government post office. We oppose all personal and corporate income taxation, including capital gains taxes. We support the eventual repeal of all taxation. As an interim measure, all criminal and civil sanctions against tax evasion should be terminated immediately. We support repeal of all laws which impede the ability of any person to find employment, such as minimum wage laws. We advocate the complete separation of education and state. Government schools lead to the indoctrination of children and interfere with the free choice of individuals. Government ownership, operation, regulation, and subsidy of schools and colleges should be ended. We condemn compulsory education laws and call for the immediate repeal of such laws. We support the repeal of all taxes on income or property of private schools, whether profit or not profit. We support the abolition of the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. We support abolition of the Department of Energy. We call for a dissolution of all government agencies concerned with transportation, including the Department of Transportation. We demand the return of America's railroad system to private ownership. We call for privatization of public roads. We specifically oppose laws requiring an individual to buy or use so-called self-protection equipment, such as safety belts, airbags, or crash helmets. We advocate the abolition of the Federal Aviation Administration and the Food and Drug Administration. We oppose all government welfare relief projects and aid to poor programs. All these government programs are privacy-invading, paternalistic, demeaning, and inefficient. The proper source of help for such person is the voluntary efforts of private groups and individuals. We call for the privatization of the inland waterways. Right? The Mississippi River should be owned by billionaires. And the distribution system that brings water to industry, agriculture, and households. It should all be privatized. We call for the repeal of the Occupational Safety and Health Act. We call for the abolition of the Consumer Product Safety Commission. And we support the repeal of all state usury laws. Those are laws that limit how much interest you can charge. So who wrote those two party platforms in what year?
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.